tire pressure gauges, wrenches, whatever a common soldier might need to fix their vehicle.
There was no Lowe's back then, so we couldn't go back to like Home Depot or anything, right?
No, that's
Guys, I'm with Sergeant Jones here. He's going to talk to you about how vital the motor pool was to World War II and our troops.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? What we have here is our working motor pool from World War II. So when a vehicle is damaged and needs repaired in the field, it happens all the time. These vehicles are used and abused and they can't always be maintained all the time. So they're brought into our motor pool and they're fixed by someone who looks like me. I'm a mechanic and I'll be working on these vehicles and we'll be showing you guys what's going on. So if we keep working through here, we have our tool display. We have all era correct tools, period correct tools that they would have used. Tire pressure gauges, wrenches, whatever a common soldier might need to fix their vehicle.
There was no Lowe's back then, so we couldn't go back to like Home Depot or anything, right?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
You just kind of you got what the military gave you and you went from there. What we have up on our blocks here, this is a 1942 Willys MB. This is the most built vehicle during the war. About 650,000 Jeeps were made during World War II. When these things broke down, which was a lot, they came in here and got maintenance. So this thing was in here all the time. So somebody like me, a mechanic, would have to know everything that was wrong with this vehicle and how to fix it. So when we pull it up on the blocks, we can do an oil change, we can fill up the gas, whatever needs done can happen here. Where we would be located in terms of a battlefield is further back. We're not going to be right up on the front lines. A common soldier that you might see would know how to fix basic things, but not have the tools or capabilities that we have back behind the lines in the motor pool.
Well, that was strategic, right? That you guys were further back to create a buffer so that you guys could be protected, because this would demobilize you if you were ever to get attacked or anything there, right?
Sure. I mean, we have to leave everything behind.
Yeah,
if we were attacked here, all of our valuable equipment, all of our valuable machines here would have to be left behind.
And also, how long would it take, because you're a mobile unit, so how long would it take you to set up and break down if you had to move?
A long time. I mean, upwards 3-4 hours probably.
Wow, that's a lot, yeah.
Totally depends on the amount of vehicles that we have.
And how many personnel would be assigned to motor pool typically?
Probably about 5 guys.
Okay.
If you have a huge armor unit, obviously the number gets a lot greater. What we have here is we have our motor oil. We have a pump. We would pump oil into our oil can here, and then we would move liquid from one place to another. Then over here we just have regular gasoline, and this would just get dumped into a jerry can.
Okay.
We look down here, we have our trucks. We go in the back. Actually, speaking of the fuel, our fuel would be delivered on something that looks like this. We have our oil and gas canisters that are getting unloaded.
Sergeant Jones, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did. It was a lot of fun, and to support us so we can keep doing more things like this, subscribe down below, and we'll see you later. And remember, be honorable and keep history alive.